Right, so for the reinforcement, the first detail we'll get here is that uh, our spacing is 200 mm center to center. So for the first thing we're going to be finding is for the length of bar, which is going to be spanning from the waist, through the waist down to the landing. What that means is that the reinforcement is going to start from here through to this point. So one steel rod will span that whole length. So I just did like a different drawing so that we can get to understand it. So you have rod from here down to this point. So this is the length of the landing, which is at 1.80, down through the waist. The waist is 9.46, 9.46. So that's it right there. So before we go on, there's also, we're going to be measuring for, in this part, so we're going to be adding projection to ground. So projection to ground is basically a length that is attached to the stair base. So we are not calculating for stair base here, but just to have that at the back of your mind, just like a column, something like that, that you attach the stair case to, because you don't just keep it on the floor, on the concrete like that. It has to be attached to another reinforcement. So the reinforcement of the waist will be attached to um, the the stair base. That's why we have projection to ground. Okay, so we will have 9.46. So we'll add our projection to ground. Projection to ground. So let's assume it as 300 mm. So it's going to be 0.30 meter. Adding it together, we have 9.76. So we'll add our landing. So from our calculation so far now, it means we've gotten the additional 300 mm for the projection to ground. We've included the length of the stairways, so we want to add this one. So but before we do that, we'll have to less the less cover. We'll have to less cover for the landing area. So it's going to be 1/8 minus 50. We'll have 1.75 at the end of the day. Add that together, you have 11.71. So we're going to add hook end. We're going to add hook end. It's going to be 2 by 100. Adding that 0.20, 11.71. So after getting the length, so basically we've gotten the length for one single rod. It should be spanning from here down to this place. So now we want to get how many. So how many are going to be placed together? That's what we mean by number of bars. That's what we want to get. So we'll simply just take the width, then we divide it by our spacing to get the number of these long bars. So to that 1.50, rather 1.60, we'll less concrete cover. By the time we less concrete cover, which is 2 by 50, that's going to be 0.10. So we'll have 1.50. Hence, 1.50 divided by 0.2, we'll have 7.5. That will approximately be 8. Then plus 1 will give us 9 numbers. So what we did previously was to get the length and the number. So So what we want to do now is to get for the horizontal bars. Wanna be going the other way. We'll get the length and we'll get the number we're going to place from the landing down to where the waist ends. We're not going to go to the projection to the ground. The um, the steel will not get to that point. So that will be get it. It's going to be 1.60. Let's just say 1,600 um less the concrete cover by 15 500 here. Going to 1.5. We had hook ends. So assume it has 100. So that will be 200, 1,700. So this will be the length. Sorry, this will be the length of the bar. That's from here to here, something like this. So with the hook end from here to here, 100, here to 100, here to here, and 1,500. So everything will be 1,700. So now to get the number of this bar I will be needing from here down to here. So we'll simply um, just add up 9.46 by 1.80 to get the length. Then we'll divide by our spacing. But before we do that, also we'll also deduct cover. We'll deduct cover from this point here. So we'll have get our number of bars. Yeah, get our number of bars. It's going to be 9.46 by 1.80. That will give us 11.626. We'll less our concrete cover. Less concrete cover 25. That will be 0.03 approximately. So what will give us, so dividing this value by 0.2 are 56.17. So approximately it's going to be 56 plus 1, which is going to give us 7, meaning we're going to have 57 of 1,700 bars across from our waist to the landing area. Having gotten everything else left for us to book it. So the first one, which was the straight road from the landing to projection below. We got it at 11.71. So it's 9 in numbers. Then the one that will be going horizontally, got it at 1.7 and it's 57 in numbers. At this point, we'll be going to the reinforcement for the steps. So for the step, you have your thread and eraser. Thread is where you step on and off. So the width, average width is 0.25 and our length is 1.60, 1,600. And the height of the riser is 0.15. The length is also the same. So we are basically going to look for the length of the bar that will come across this way, and the one that will come across this way for the thread. And we'll do the same thing for the riser, the horizontal and vertical um, bars for each of them. So that would look like this. So I kind of gave figure to it. So x2 is for on the longer ones, while x1 is for the shorter ones. So y1, y2. So that's the example I gave you. So starting with x2, so for the thread, so x2 will be 1.60, which is a length here, 1.60. So we want to get the length of one of this bar from here with its extensions and everything, and with hook end. So less concrete cover, because the 1.6 is like the concrete size, so we have to less concrete cover. So let's just assume 30. So 2 by 30, that'll be 0.06. We have that as 1.54. Let's add the hooked end. 2 by 100, that'll be 0.2. 1.74. So the number of bars, that's going to be 1.74 over 0.2. So 1.74 divided by 2, 0.2. So that'll give us 8.7. It's going to be approximately 9. So 9 plus 1 should give us 10 numbers. That's for x1. And for x2, no, that's for x2 rather, x1. So this is x1, not here. X1, which is 0.25. By the time we less the cover, 2 by 30, 0.06. We have this 0.19. Add your hooked end, so it's only 2 by 100, 0.20. So we have 0.3939. Alright, to get the number, we're simply going to by 0.39 by 0.2 and 0. Dividing this, we have 1.95, approximately 2, and plus 1 will have 3 number. Okay, I just noticed a mistake I made, so just take caution when you are looking for the number of bars. You don't use the final value because you've added hooked end, but you use the value after lessening the cover. So I've made correction, no necessary adjustment to that. I made that here and here as well. Okay, moving on to the risers. So for this the riser y1 y2, y1 y2, so 0.15. So that's a riser there. So we're looking for y2. I want to measure for y2, so 1.60, 0.06, which is the concrete cover. And that's our concrete cover. We'll less it. That's our concrete cover, which is 2 by 30. So that's 1.54. Add your hooked end, which is so we add our hook end. That's 100. 1.64. Okay, why we're just adding one hook end is because on this vertical side with the other one here, we'll not be able to have hook end, because it's just going straight. Hook end will come at the end there. So that's why we're just adding one hook end to our white one X2 members. So look for the number of bars. I'll take this as 1.54, 0.20, 7.78 plus 1 will have 9 numbers. And for y1, 0.15. So this y1, and it's 0.15. So well, let's concrete cover. Um, concrete cover 2 by 30. So this one is kind of small. I'm just going through it so that we can understand. But I will just stop here. So it's kind of like, okay, you can do this by yourself. So do the same thing that we did here. Get your value. You use this one like something similar to this after adding your hook end. Or before adding your hook end, then you divide by 0.2, which is the spacing for you to get your value. So I'll just leave that to you to attempt. So you should have two numbers at the end of the day. So in case you want to confirm. So let's move on to book for it. That will be um that'll be 1.64. So we take all the values we've done before, 1.64 by 2 and by 24. That's for the thread. Then 0.30 by 9 by 24. Just in case you're wondering, why do we have 2 here and we have 9 here? So 1.64, that's the length of the bar. But when we're looking at numbers of bars, for instance, for the thread, when we had this 1.6 after lesson everything, if you check back on the notes, just rewind, you see it. We had 1.54, dividing it by 0.2, we had 9. So that is to say, from this span, 9 bars we place this way. So when you do the same thing for this one, you're trying to say that certain amount of bars will be placed here, which is 2. So from here to here, it will be 2 bars, but for here it's going to be 9. So that's why after you have gotten everything, you invert it at the end of the day. Okay, so we would we'll have that. Then we'll do the same for our riser. The values we got for our riser. So 1.64, which is this. 0.19, not 29. So like I said, the answer is going to be 2. So 2 we go for this guy here. So this will be 2. Remember your riser is 25, not 24. Then we had 9 here, so 0.19 is going to be 9 by 25. So finally, we are going to be looking at finishes. So I'm not going to write all the description, but I'm leaving the coding there for you so that you can look at it by yourself in your BSMM. So this is actually plastering, so screeded bed and toppings. Take into code 6mm wide to 4. So when you check it in the BSMM, you see it clearly. So we're going to plaster for the soffit. So this for um or rather your stairways. And also you do the same for your landing. You do the same for the landing. You do the same for you apply the finishes to your beam, but that's a different coding, so I'm going to indicate it here. As for your beam, 1.80 by 2. Then we do the same to your string. Finish to your string. So 9.46 by 2. And the cast on finish, so looking at terrazzo floor finish, and put it at this 1.60 as for the step, the length. So it's the same thing for the riser. So riser and thread S times student 24 total. We'll do the same. We'll do the same for our landing. So just put your landing dimensions there. So it's quite the same. The booking for this is not the coding rather. Yeah. So finally is account for balustrades. Balustrades are the structures that support you have beside um your staircase. And in this case, it's going to be on both sides, for protection and for support for people that will be climbing the stairs. So basically 9.46 by 2 on both sides. So by this, we've come to the end of our measurements today. Thank you very much. Please do well to leave a like, share the video. If the video was helpful, please share it with your classmates, friends, and the likes. And please subscribe so that you can get the latest notifications for when we'll be dropping videos. Thank you so much, and God bless you.